I'm gonna talk about Fanny Mendelssohn, and it's me who's talking about her because I have some knowledge about the music and its development. I know about the classicism, the romanticism, and the baroque, and why she's an impact for me and for history. She's an impact because she has always been hidden behind her brother's name, Felix Mendelssohn, another famous composer of the age. I'm gonna do this talk, and there are gonna be 3 parts. That is still life, her context, and her work. Her life. Fanny Mendelssohn was born on Hamburg, Germany in November 14 of 1805. Her father was Albert Mendelssohn. He was a good banker, and they had enough money to give to his son, to her family, a good education. Her mother was Leah Mendelssohn. She was more artistic than her father. She studied piano some years, but she finally dedicated the arts and Fanny Mendelssohn was the first of her 4 brothers. She was the older, Rebecca, Felix Mendelssohn, and Paul Mendelssohn. In 1816, the Mendelssohn family passed from Judaism to Lutheranism. Mendelssohn family was known as a Jewish in the time, so they decided to change their religion, and changing their religion, they adopted the last name Barth. How was Fanny's childhood? Her first teacher was her mother, Leah Mendelssohn, and a curious fact is that she was a student from Johann Kemmer, and Johann Kemmer was a student of Johann Sebastian Bach. That's why Fanny Mendelssohn, at the age of 13 years old, known the whole preludes and fugues of the well-tempered book of Bach. Mendelssohn brothers, they both appeared together, and they had the class with the same teacher. And the teacher always said that Fanny Mendelssohn had better skills in piano than his brother Felix. When Fanny was 15 years old, she wrote her first composition to his father because she loved his father, but the answer of his father was in a letter written in 1820. Music will perhaps become your brother's profession, but for you it can and must be just an ornament, never the root of your being and doing. You must prepare for your real calling. Only calling for a real woman. I mean, instead of a housewife. It was a disappointment for Fanny Mendelssohn because she really wanted to compose and to become a professional musician. In 1821, Fanny met Wilhelm Hensel, who was gonna be her husband. He traveled 5 years to Rome to study arts, and then he came to Berlin and became a counterpainter. The marriage of Fanny and Williams was on October 3rd of 1829, and Fanny composed her own wedding anthem for the organ. Hensel always supported her music career. There is a history that says that his husband always gave him a blank paper so she could write a new song every day. Her only son was Felix Ludwig Sebastian Hensel. Each name evokes one of these artists: Felix Mendelssohn, Beethoven, Bach, and Hensel, the last picture, that is the son when he was young. Fanny died in May 14 of 1847. She died because of some complications after suffering stroke. There is a theory that says that she died when she was practicing one of her brother's cantatas, the first Walpurgis Night. And just 6 months later, on November of 1848, Felix Mendelssohn died in Leipzig after a series of strokes. And here we see the tombs. Now I'm going to talk about the context in which she grew up. And first, the Romanticism. It was in the early Romanticism era. And I'm going to talk about some difference between the Classicism and Romanticism. With Classicism, everything was so symmetrical. The melody was so symmetrical. As in contrast, in the Romanticism, there are more expansive melodies. The rhythmic was always clear. But in Romanticism, the bottom, that is the time extended and more free, was so big. And Neoclassicism was a caution, an order, and instead Romanticism was emotion, excess, feelings, and imbalance. The Romanticism was always to more freedom than order, and that's a point reported in the compositions of Fanny Mendelssohn. Lied. What is Lied? Lied is a famous term in German used to short lyrical songs which lyrics were from poems and usually writing for soloist, an instrument, and a voice. Fanny Mendelssohn was so famous because she wrote lots of lieds, or Lieder, in plural. These compositions were written to by Clara Schumann, Schubert, Schumann, and Brahms. Her house became in a concert hall because the family had some medium to become her house in a concert hall, and great artists as Liszt, as Paganini, as Weber, and as Clara Schumann. Clara Schumann was a clear impact for Fanny Mendelssohn. She was so admired to Clara Schumann. The work of Fanny Mendelssohn. There is a composition so weird that was written by Fanny Mendelssohn and her husband Hansel, and it's the year, and each song or opus has the name of a month, and each one has a draw and a painting of his husband, and there are 12 pieces. It's one interesting piece. History says that Fanny wrote more than 32 fugues before she was 20 years old, and it's approximated that she wrote about 460 pieces, but most of them were never published. This is like a graphic of the whole work that she wrote, not published work. The most of them were vocal works, but a big part of it was keyboard works. A few were for chamber, orchestra, and other works. Felix Mendelssohn, and there is a curious fact, because Felix Mendelssohn published some of Fanny Mendelssohn pieces, but through his name. Opus 8 and Opus 9 had 12 songs each one, and the number 2, number 3, and number 12 of Opus 8 were written by Fanny Mendelssohn. The same happened with the Opus 9, the number 7, number 10, and number 12. There is an interesting story about the number 3 Italian of Opus 8. It is that Queen Victoria wrote a letter to Felix Mendelssohn telling him that she loved number 3 Italian and she wanted to sing it. But Felix' pride should be destroyed because he had to tell her that that was not a composition of him. That was her sister's composition. Easter Sonata. This is an interesting fact because this is a sonata was discovered. Manuscript was discovered in 1970. It was about 50 years ago. There was 150 years hidden. This sonata was composed in a basic and usually structure as a sonata is composed. It has 4 movements: an allegro, largo, sergio, and allegro. This sonata was seen as F. Mendelssohn, and everyone attributed this sonata to Felix Mendelssohn. But in 2010, a musicologist, Angela Christian, found that the manuscript was found from a collection of music written by Fanny Mendelssohn. And just until 2010, this piece was attributed to Fanny Mendelssohn. And actually, the music that you are listening now, Oster Sonata. The sonata that was discovered just 50 years ago. And this is the second movement of the sonata. Thank you for watching this, and I'm sure that maybe most of the songs that we know, maybe not most of the songs, but some of the music we know about Felix Mendelssohn has an impact and a piece and a part of her sister, Fanny Mendelssohn. So it's curious when we listen to Felix Mendelssohn, because now we know that behind him is her sister, Fanny Mendelssohn. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have learned something.